The Hon Kieran McAnulty.
1 day to go. 1 day to go from this government's second budget. They've got a chance to talk about all the things that they're supposedly done. And what do they talk about? Us. They don't talk about them. They talk about Barbara Edmonds, a confident finance spokesperson or finance minister, doesn't talk about her opposite. She talks about herself and what they've achieved, and they didn't mention that once. And New Zealanders know exactly why, because they have done bugger all, because they've buggered up the budget. That is a fact. They have buggered up the budget, Mr. Speaker, because they have given tax cuts to landlords. They have given tax cuts to tobacco companies. They have given tax cuts to tech companies like Google and Facebook. And what do you know? The books don't add up.
Oh, what a surprise.
Now what do we do? What does this visionary of finance called Nigger Willis do? She targets the women workers and they kick the homeless. Because tomorrow they will make themselves out to be virtuous and they will make announcements that make it look like they are investing in this country. But every single announcement will be paid for from women workers' future pay and depriving people in genuine need of the homes that they need.
That's right.
They crow about saving $1 billion by keeping people out of emergency housing. It is shameful. And today even, at question time, they were celebrating the fact supposedly that so many people had got into homes. Homes that the last government paid for and the last government built. And what does this crowd do? They've stopped buying or expanding homes and they have significantly reduced the funding going to community housing providers.
That's right.
They have deliberately changed the rules that deprive people in need getting into emergency housing to save money.
That's right.
Women and children escaping domestic violence are being deprived an emergency house because of the changes that each and every one of them have voted for. I don't know how you sleep at night. Domestic violence. Matt Ducey laughs. Try and defend that in your local electorate. One of your constituents defending domestic violence, now they're all laughing. Let's just take a second here and take a moment. They are laughing when we are talking about people escaping domestic violence being denied an opportunity to get into emergency house because of the change in the rules that they made while they celebrate the money that they've saved, and their response is to laugh. Matt Ducey, Simeon Brown and Sam Uffindell, put it on the record. They laughed at domestic violence and they laughed that they're being kept on the street, because that is a fact, Mr. Speaker. Homelessness has gone up at unprecedented levels because of each and every one of them. The frontline providers have been screaming out, telling them that the changes they made to save money to try and make this budget add up is meaning that people are living on the street and in tents and in cars and in garages. They don't care. The only thing that they care about is trying to pay for the tax cuts that they can't afford. And their response was to laugh. I bet they don't have the guts to laugh at people who actually are homeless. No, I bet it's only in here where they have...
Sorry, you can't make that sort of suggestion. You can imply it, but you can't say it directly. You know that. So please carry on without those references.
I bet if they had the opportunity to talk to a homeless person, Mr. Speaker, that they wouldn't laugh. But here, where they feel like they're protected, where they feel all buoyed up, they can do it. Will they laugh to the women workers who are going to come to them after tomorrow's budget and say every single thing that you have just announced is because you have deprived me of my future pay? Of course they won't, but they'll do it here. I think sometimes this debating chamber can give the public of New Zealand an insight into the true feelings of this government, and they have demonstrated it today. They don't care that women's pay is being cut. They don't care that they are screwing over some of the lowest paid workers in the country. They do not care that women and children are sleeping on the street because they need the money, because they decided to favour their mates, landlords, big tech companies, tobacco companies, over the people that actually need it. The people paying for this budget are the ones that can least afford it. That's on them.